And just like that, it's the last episode of our second season.
Oh my gosh.
Can you believe it? Ang bilis.
Ang bilis. I
Ang
didn't
bilis.
feel it.
Oo. Pero ang sabihin ko rin, ang galing natin.
Fairness.
Ano yung term BBSS? Bilib na bilib sa sarili.
Yes.
Hindi kasi, natutuwa ako kasi parang ang dami kong natutunan sa sharing natin, tsaka sa paggawa natin ito. Ang galing.
I'm also very happy kasi I always have something to talk about with my parents who are regular
my
fans of the
gosh.
She Talks Asia
Hello.
podcast. Tita Pinugu and
Tita.
Chef Pinugu.
Yes,
And
Tita
Tito
Jess
Jess.
and Tita Tita.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nakakatawa, my mom the other day was like, nilike ko yung YouTube nyo kasi wala pa masyadong naglalike.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks.
We
Pa-share na
appreciate
din
that.
po. Pa-share po sa mga social media pages.
Yes. And of course, we'd like to thank our tribe. Sobra to everyone who constantly streams the podcast, waits for every episode drop. And of course, a special shout out to Max, our podcast girl, and to Kirsten, our editor. And to Anna, who makes our cute art cards. Maraming salamat.
Thank you. It takes a
Thank you.
village for sure.
Yes.
At
and
thank you for sharing.
mm-mm.
Yeah, thank you for getting the word out.
We love it. And we love you. And this is why, for this episode, I wanted to ask a question that I guess we've all been asking ourselves the past decades since naging adults tayo, nag-enter ng workforce, and then eventually kung ano-ano nang ginawa sa life. The question is there really such a thing as work-life balance? The answer is no. Maraming salamat for joining us for this episode.
Thank you. See you next episode.
Yun na.
No, really. It
Ah.
is still something that is talked about now. We've been talking about it ever since the start of She Talks Asia in our first ever summit in 2017. In some way, shape, or form,
Yes.
Wala nga
lumalabas
ako
na
doon.
yung work-life balance. But diba through the years, parang it's a question we've been trying to answer. The answer has been evolving as well.
As we evolve.
As we
well.
evolve, as we know new things, pero andyan pa rin eh. Hindi lang sa local media but international media, it's still a term, work-life balance. And one of the things that have come up in the more recent years is bakit yung issue ng work-life balance, tinatanong lang siya sa babae.
Yes.
Sabi ko, hindi talaga.
At least sabay-sabay tayo
lalaki.
sa babae.
Oo. Your thoughts on work-life balance?
Alam mo, habang binibigay mo yung intro, sabi mo, ever since we started working, we joined the workforce, yung utak ko talaga, ay ako noon wala akong ganyang tanong. Wala akong work-life balance na nalalaman nung 20s, 30s. Baka nga nung nag-She Talks Asia lang. Especially when I became a mother. Was that even a concern or a term or something that I would actually really grapple with? Because I didn't even think that there was something to be balanced before. Parang even if I was partying a lot or like working a lot, it was just like fun. Ganon. Yung parang
Life.
life.
Oo.
And my personality talaga, fun lang to. Ganyan talaga.
Yes.
I just enjoy everything. But syempre, as the years went by, 30s, nafe-feel mo na yung pagod. Yun kasi yun in your 20s, you feel invincible. So, there's not much to balance because you can actually do everything. I could have 3 hours of sleep, hit the gym after, taping, lahat. Nangyayari siya. In my 30s, I started to feel the back pain, ganyan. Tapos, health. Nung nagka-COVID ako siguro, was like one of the really...
Recent na lang.
Oh, mga 20...
2020.
I guess before pinag-uusapan natin, pero hindi ko pa siya ganun karamdam.
Ramdam.
Kasi wala pa akong anak. Yung ganun, parang I was still not adulting, really.
Close up ka dyan. Close up ka na naman dyan.
Ayan na po. Ayan. Anyway, adulting came much later in life for me. Being a mom, really, dun ko talaga ngayon nafe-feel na paano ko ba ibabalanse lahat ito. Kasi nga, isang aspeto din dun is may nakasanayan din akong buhay for almost 40 years.
Right.
That didn't involve having to be responsible for somebody 24/7. Ngayon ko siya nafe-feel at ang hirap-hirap niya. I remember nung bagong panganak ako, we had that summit and we had Isa Cabrera.
Yes.
And I remember listening to her. She battled with cancer, diba? And she said there is no such thing as work-life balance and that she would liken it more to work-life harmony. And I was like, that's a beautiful word. There are a lot of women who work and have to be mothers, have to run a household in whatever shape or form. They call it a juggle. And to me, that's how it feels when it feels hectic. It's like, oh my God, I'm juggling. But when I kind of take a pause and say, yeah, I'm juggling, but can it just be like a flow instead of a I can also reframe the way I see it, 'di ba? So, I know always lagi kong sinasabi, lunod na ako. It's so overwhelming. At the same time, I can always catch myself and reframe the way I think about it while not invalidating how hard it is.
Among the three of us, iba-iba din tayo ng relationship with that work-life balance, 'di ba? Iba-iba ng, you said you started late, I started a bit earlier. For Lynn, it's a totally different situation as well. Meaning, bawat babae, iba-iba ang manifestation ng work-life balance. Or to your point, work-life harmony, some people call it work-life rhythm. Work-life integration is another term that I've learned recently. So we'll try to make all that himay today. Pero for our introductions, I wanted to ask you guys, because work-life balance is the term. Aside from our work title, and please refer to our previous episode on Who Are We Without the Titles. If you were to introduce yourself with the random tasks that you've been doing in the past few days as your title, what would those be?
Random tasks?
I'll start to set
Okay,
the
yes.
example. Okay. Hi, my name is Bianca, and in my life, I am also a driver, house manager, tagaligo, tagahugas ng puwet, errands girl, head of house inventory, schedule fixer, timekeeper.
Hi everyone, my name is Lynn. Apart from my official titles, I'm also the real stopper, meaning I remind my husband when he's spending too much time on social media. Doom scroller police, yes, that's quite accurate. Well, I'm the main dogs and cat caretaker.
Hi, I'm Iza. Ako yung laging kasama maligo. Ako yung chupon. Ako din po ang kinkeeper. I try. I drop the ball a lot on the things I need to do. I want to say taga-manage ng household, but I don't know. Parang I don't feel like I'm doing such a great job, but at least I try. Ako din, of course, ang Chief Entertainment Officer ni Dea.
That's the best job.
Yeah, that's the one I love the most.
Thanks for being game to answer that question. The reason I wanted to share that is because I believe this particular topic is so connected. Hindi lang dun sa episode natin na Who Are We Without Our Titles, but also the mental load episode, which resonated with a lot of people. Kasi lahat siya interconnected talaga, and people might see, oh, si Lynn, she runs a school and she's CEO of She Talks Asia, but there are many hidden roles, meaning hidden from the public but visible only to the people who are in your close circle, and they know how much is on your plate talaga that you have to juggle every
Right.
single day. Like, bago po nito, nakapag-tennis na siya, nakapag-meetings na siya, and then saka pa lang mag-start yung podcast recording.
I think there's power in changing my relationship with the term, whatever we use, whether it's work-life balance, work-life integration. Maybe because I realized that, yun nga, it's so elusive, and I feel like I'm just gonna stress myself out by resisting the fact that maybe it's not possible to achieve. That's why when we were discussing this topic, I think my relationship with it has become, parang I've become friends with the idea that I don't think it's possible for me. What has helped me significantly when I was listening to Iza is the realization that I do tend to prioritize everything else but my health. What changed that? Like you, a bad case of COVID, I think that's when I realized that I gave up so much sleep for things that I didn't really need to do. And I made a promise to myself that when things go back to normal, I'm gonna hold on to the lessons I learned during the pandemic, which is you have to be scarce with who you give your time to. That means sometimes saying no to things that are attractive. But then when you weigh it, parang this is not really gonna make my life significantly more meaningful. So yes, so I think that's where I'm at right now.
I'm the same as you. Si Iza kasi, and thank you for being honest that parang the adulting or the concept of work-life balance came to you, I guess, mid-30s na.
Hindi ko yan naiisip dati. Sana hindi ako nag-iisa sa mundo.
No,
Pa-comment
for
na
sure.
lang kung tulad ko. Ikaw ganun din.
Unlike me, parang 20s pa lang, I did feel
Aware
that work-life balance, I guess, pressure, even though it wasn't so much talked about then.
Paano mo siya nafe-feel noon?
Parang
Gusto mo
that you
yun?
have to do it all. That you have to have it all figured out. And I think it was a dangerous combination of that pressure of like having to do it all, figure it out all. And at the same, proving yourself. May gusto patunayan. Parang that happens in your 20s. So that was the feeling of like it was always chasing something. Which honestly, something great in your 20s kasi you have the energy to do everything you need to do. But my relationship with it now is that I am so at peace with it. With my first answer na no, it doesn't exist. Thanks for watching. Yung ganun na talaga
Ganun
ako.
talaga.
And I think if anything, relating to you girls, during the pandemic, we all had a lot of time to think about priorities, values, etc. I became more clear on the things that I valued that would get my yes and the things that were not as important that would be low on the yes list, if not a no. And then I think that has helped me in this season of my life take the load off. Kasi I think that ang pinakamalaking kalaban ng idea ng work-life balance or doing it all or having it all is guilt. Which I think a lot of women experience. It's that guilt of, I did this, therefore, shucks, hindi ko nasamahan yung kaibigan ko dito or hindi ako nakapunta sa birthday ng kaibigan ko. Or because I did this, I wasn't with my family. Or because I chose my family, I missed this work opportunity. There's always that guilt factor which blends into shame, which blends into being hard on yourself, which are all feelings na, ano sa babae? Parang andali sa atin para
Yeah.
ma-feel.
And I heard it earlier from you actually when you said that I'm also the household manager, but I don't know if I can claim that because I don't know if I'm doing it well. And
Yeah, but surprisingly, I've already given a talk during a Tatler Front and Female about this, seasons. Honoring the seasons of a woman's life. And to your point, I even said, when I was reflecting, na it's really you have to honor what you said, like which season of life are you in. But it doesn't mean that, yan, you just heard me na parang sometimes you have imposter syndrome still. But it's, di ba, I caught myself, di ba? At least you're aware. But I just want to say that I figured when you were talking about this, Bianca, na parang ang tagal na, I think siya, yung having it all, doing it all, it's because something na nung bata siguro ko, hindi ko siya naisip kasi hindi ako achiever. Kasi dumating talaga siya later on in life na sa akin eh. Wala akong dreams of this. Nangyayari lang talaga siya, bigla na lang. Alam ko lang, I had to straighten up. I had to be good at something because I had to keep working. So, gusto kong maging magaling at something. Of course, in our industry, there are awards that suddenly you want to have these projects. Pero hindi ako overwhelmed for some reason at that time. Nitong 30s, 40s, parang, because I guess, nag-shift na din yung mind ko at kasi nga naging from row 4 mas naging row 1 na ako thanks din to my She Talks Asia partners and life, life brought me here. And yung parang you want to do more and be more because dito na ako dinala ng life eh. Gusto kong gamitin din tong platform, pagkakataon na binigay sa akin purposefully. Pero sometimes, we talked about this in one of our episodes, you can get caught up in the purpose-driven life narrative. So, seasons, as you said, it's good to operate from an honest place and really know what your priorities are, as you said, and then try to work on letting go of the guilt and shame. But it's not easy. Kasi siya hindi siya porket nag-usap tayo ngayon, bukas okay na ako at hindi na to mangyayari ulit. Ang totoo nito, araw-araw, minsan minu-minuto. Ang pinakakalaban talaga natin tayo din eh.
yes, I would say it's really a self-imposed expectation that you're also fighting against.
That is formed by a societal expectation on women.
On women. Sorry, yun pala yung point ko dun sa talk. Where is this coming from? That guilt? Because, di ba we always keep saying that women are conditioned at a very young age to be perfect. So, if that is the conditioning, then you will never do enough and be enough.
What are my thoughts on this? Okay, the reason why women are the ones getting asked is also because we bought into the narrative also. I talked about this in the Paano Ba To podcast, right? Which is the idea of a girl boss. And that was during our generation. We were sold on that idea that to be a girl boss is admirable, which it is, right? Like
Yes.
leading your own companies, etc. But it came with a caveat that you have to be a girl boss and like you have to be this, you have to be excellent in your career, but you also have to be excellent in the traditional expectations of a woman, which is your house has to be clean. I say that kasi hindi malinis yung bahay
Same,
ko.
thank you.
Burara ako.
Thank you, I love it.
Hirap na hirap ako, right?
Kaya-
That's a part, our
Team-
aspect na yun.
Team
burara.
na, lahat ba tayo?
Ako
But
din,
I'm
oo.
learning, I have
Thank
to
you
learn.
to
I'm
our angels at home and my
Yes,
husband
thank
for
you.
keeping
But
the
we're
house.
learning, I'm learning to love it. A
Yes.
little more, yes.
So, there, parang that was the narrative that was sold to us, which we also helped perpetuate. Like, yun nga, like all the interviews I gave when I was younger, na, you know, I was the whatever, the founder of this, the founder of that, without stopping to say, hey, you know what, I accomplished this, but these are the things I gave up along the way. Right? Like I mentioned in the previous episode, I wasn't showing up for my family enough, which I had to really prioritize because I realized, oh, wait, that's more important at the end of the day. But you know, there are also some friends I don't get to see as often. Even now, while I'm writing my thesis, I don't have time for friends. I send them memes and links to stuff I like that make me laugh because right now that's the only thing I can give. And like when you were speaking earlier, I do think yes, it's good to operate from a place of self-awareness. But I think we also need to be okay with not pleasing everybody.
Definitely. And not just that, and having self-compassion.
Yes, also very
I
much.
think that's the number one. Kasi we will never please everybody. And that alone is heartbreaking, di ba?
Yeah.
Especially for people pleasers like me. Saying no is so hard. I have to forgive myself for all those things kasi ultimately it's good for me. In turn, will be good for the family and all these things. So I think the sacrifices are there. And the question kasi there is, can women have it all? And then I think what Isa said pala is that you can but not at the same time. And that's really it. And it's fine because what does having it all really mean? Ikaw naman magdidictate nun eh. Kung pagsasabay-sabayin mo nga na lahat nung nasa checklist mo, you have it all, it might seem impossible, but if you redefine and reframe the way you look at that list or you even list down what all means to you in this season of your life, perhaps as we speak, we actually have it all. So
I'm glad that you said that because it's true eh. Parang the women listening to this will be in different stages and seasons of their life as well. And I know for a fact that a lot of people who listen to our podcasts are either achievers who feel like they want to do it all as well, kin keepers, mga daughters who have to keep the family together, all of this on top of work because we all have to work. And the idea of work-life balance falls on the women because just to explain more on what you said, Lynn, dati, old days, it's the man who would work and the woman who would keep the home. And when women suddenly worked, so women also worked, but when they go home, they're still expected to keep the home and do everything. So that's why ang dami bigla natin kailangan gawin. I love the way that Emma Greed, the co-founder of Good American, of Skims, frames it. We are similar in that we believe that work-life balance doesn't exist. And the way she frames it is life is simply a series of trade-offs. You choose one thing, that means you're not available for the other thing. Like I said earlier. And how she frames it, for example, if you're an ambitious little monster, that means there's nothing wrong with that, but you will give up family time. Or if you want to devote all your time to family, then the career will have to take the back seat, etc. And I think that we as women, bringing back the topic on guilt, we have to be really clear on what we want eh. Kasi the guilt comes from other people's expectations.
Yes.
Your expectation of yourself when you're younger na ganito yung magiging buhay ko. And then when life happens,
hindi pala
iba
yun ang totoo.
iba ang cards that you're dealt with. Parang I think that an occasional checking in with yourself of what is having it all, of what your priorities are, what will get your yes, will help lessen that guilt. We won't even have to talk about work-life balance because it's just life, diba? Some
And-
days are work heavy,
yeah.
some days are life heavy.
To the young women watching this, I think this is really when who you choose as a life partner matters so much.
Yes.
Because like what Bianca said, right? We are trying to unlearn how it only fell on the women to take care of the children, to take care of the household, and men are just expected to go to work and that's it. Until now, right? For other men, that's still how they view themselves, wherein they don't try to contribute at home. But if you choose a good partner, right, and someone you can say, hey, this is what I wanna prioritize right now, but someone also has to stay with the kids, right? For example, how do we make sure that we can do both things by being there for each other, by taking turns in terms of who will take the role of someone who's gonna care for the home? I mentioned this because we, in She Talks Asia, we had a panel in, I think, our second She Talks Asia Summit. It was called She is Self-Made. And we had the husbands there talk about their wives and their partners. Yeah. And one of them, because his partner was an artist whose career was thriving, he was the one who said, okay, my career hasn't taken off as much as hers. I'm the one who's gonna take a step back. And I just thought that's how a partnership should look like, right? You take turns, and I guess that can only happen if, again, you find yourself a partner whose values are aligned with yours also, who realizes that, you know what, yes, I'm gonna support your dreams, right? But please be there to support mine also. And you shouldn't even have to plead, right? That's something that a conversation should happen even before you get into your formal commitment.
No, absolutely. And I think that for all the women listening to this, even if it's not a boyfriend or a husband, you can choose, it might be a harsh word, but you can choose the support system that you have around you to fit
true.
that. People who will help you do what you want. Na hindi ka lang naman take ng take, di ba? Parang it's a harmonious relationship naman. Kasi that's how you can juggle
Exhibit
it
A.
all.
Exhibit A, Isa Calzado being friends with Bianca Gonzalez and Lynn Pinugu. Therefore, from row 4,
I accept.
row 1 na tayo.
No, it's true. I mean, like, when for example, I think it was 2 weeks ago ba yun, when I took a leave because I had to write my thesis. And I told them that, guys, like, I really have to focus on this. And I didn't feel guilty because I knew they'd understand. And yes, like Bianca is correct. It's not just about your life partner. It's also your life partners. Like, the friends and the people you surround yourself
Parang
with.
wala naman akong ginawa nun para sa inyo. Parang si Bianca pa rin. Ano? Grabe talaga ako.
Kanya-kanya talaga tayo ng ambag.
Oo, special naman yung ambag ko.
Super special.
Special na show pa. Chari. Lagi po ako nagkakasakit. Kasi ang dami ko talagang stressors na hindi ako sanay pa sigurong i-take, or I have to deal, to really face my health situation. Ang dami, but it's all happening, everything, everywhere, all at once. 'Di ba? Pasok siya dun sa work-life balance eh. Kahit may sakit, kailangan mong kumita ng pera, kailangan mong ng ganito. So, kaya po ako umuubo, pasensya na, hindi po namin pwedeng i-pack up to dahil kailangan po namin ng material sa Thursday.
Salamat, Iza.
Real talk lang.
No, real talk. A lot of us women endure to do what we have to do.
Hi, Tribe. We just want to take a moment to say thank you so much for supporting the season 2 of the She Talks Asia podcast. We've been reading all your feedback. Nakakataba po ng puso. Maraming salamat po.
Yes, thank you for joining us for these very important conversations. And if you have just discovered our podcast, we have a lot of episodes from this season and even our very first season. So please check those out.
And so where can you find the She Talks Asia podcast? We are on Spotify and YouTube. And please follow our social media pages at She Talks Asia on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
See you there!
Siguro I wanted to end with an important note for especially our community na mas bata, those in their 20s who are still in that process of building their career and finding where they want to be in the world. Kasi I feel that, and this is my personal hot take, feel free to disagree, you have to keep working, literally, and working on yourself before you get to the level of a work-life rhythm, harmony. Meaning, may era talaga tayo ng buhay na work, 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 work. Life will take the back seat. I mean, if you are career oriented, like the three of us are. It's something that I feel as a young woman, if you want this career ahead of you, you have to work on it and build it before even thinking about the balance yet. And if anything, 20s is your time to do it. So don't feel guilty if you're missing like a barkada reunion or a friend's wedding. You will be able to make it up in the future. Syempre, that's up to you, right? Alin yung mga hard, no, I'm going to this friend's or this family gathering. It's really up to you. But then don't also feel guilty, especially in the early stages of your career, if work really takes the front seat. Kasi it happens and we gotta do what we gotta do. Lalo na sa ekonomiyang ito, hindi lahat may generational wealth. And so, dadating din yung some sort of rhythm, harmony, integration ng work and life eventually.
Just to build on that. Alam nyo ba, na nagkakape kayo, baka po may gusto mag-sponsor sa amin ng mga drinks,
Season
foods,
2,
yeah.
open for
Season 2,
sponsorship.
We're open for partnerships.
Sorry, season 3.
Season 3, manifesting. But as you were talking about that, you were saying kasi work and then doing the inner work. I would love for any 20-year-old, as you're working and experiencing life and enjoying it, start to have that level of awareness that there is inner work to be done. Because I think the sooner, I believe, the sooner that we start doing this, the sooner we get to know ourselves, the sooner we become more clear about the things that we want to do. And I think, I believe again, I know, if I had just started doing the inner work earlier, mas naging klaro yung path ko sa buhay ko. So, yun lang ang tip ni Ate Iza sa inyo.
I think for me, and this goes for whatever age you are, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, there's a nice lesson I learned from Arthur Brooks, who is this columnist at The Atlantic. He said one of the questions that always helps him in terms of prioritizing what to do for the day is asking himself, what is it that other people need that only I can uniquely provide? And when you ask yourself that question, the things that you do or the things that you map out for the day, all of a sudden they have a deeper purpose. So when it comes to prioritizing, it's now easier for you to gauge, okay, what is more important to me? So I'm gonna bring it back to my relationship with my parents. Only my ate and I can play the role of being their daughter, right? My husband, even for example, we're married, he's a son-in-law, he can't be the daughter of my parents.
Hindi ba talaga pwede?
I mean, you get it. Like, it's different degree, right? In Manong Miga, I am the leader. So I'm not the teacher. So that means I'm not called to be in the classroom every day. But there are certain things about the job that only I can do. And when I frame it that way, I realize, okay, these are the nice to-dos or the nice to-haves, but these are what I should do. And when you frame it that way, then you also have more clarity. And you also are able to make the guilt disappear more slowly because now you're focusing on what you can do rather than trying to do everything. And maybe by building that habit, right, into our day-to-day, then it will also help us. The more we ask that question, the more we reflect, the more we become self-aware. And then it's easier also for us to decide what to prioritize. So, yes.
Ang ganda nun. And I'll take it one level higher pa. And imagine you get to the point na you can say, I get to do this. Gratitude na yun. Then you will see, oh gosh, I'm so blessed to be balancing this, juggling this, doing all these things. Kasi God, sometimes it's overwhelming. You're operating from a negative emotion. But when you do all of that, you see, oh my God, I get to balance and juggle and do all of these things. Thank you, Lord.